let's talk about BepInEx. BepInEx is a modding framework that you can use to mod Unity-based games. What's great about this is that you don't have to mess with the code, the vanilla code of the game. Rather, you are injecting custom code at runtime to achieve some desired behavior. So even if your code breaks the game, you simply remove it, the vanilla code remains intact. I actually put out a video on setting up BepInEx in 2025, but I received a lot of user comments suggesting a specific pain point where BepInEx is not creating subfolders in File Explorer the way that it is meant to. So I want to revisit the setup, and I want to underscore a step in the workflow where I think this issue is arising. So the first thing you're going to do, decide on a game you want to mod. For this video, we're going to use Peak. We need to find the game's root folder. If you're going out of Steam, you can right-click it in your library, select Manage, browse local files. This is your root folder. If you want to do a quick sanity check, it should be the folder that has the games.exe in it. So in this case, we're looking at this file path of D, program files, 86, Steam library, Steam apps, common, Peak, and here's my peak.exe, and here's my Peak data folder. I actually already have a BepInEx folder here, so I'm going to delete that so that we can see from scratch BepInEx generate the subfolders. So there's our root folder. Let's set that aside. We're going to navigate to the BepInEx releases page on GitHub, which is linked in the description, and we're going to scroll down to this assets section here. Most users are going to go for this BepInEx WinX64 file. So let's download that. And we want to extract these files, but here's where I think people are running into this issue of not creating subfolders. I think they are extracting it directly into the game's root folder, and we don't want to do that. Extract them right back into your downloads folder or whatever temporary location, right? Now that I have the folder contents here, I'm going to put those up next to my game's root folder, and I'm going to click and drag these into the root folder rather than extracting them directly into it. I'm being prompted to replace some files. I'm going to say replace. You might not get that same prompt. I may have some leftover files from the previous time that I installed BepInEx. So you should now see this BepInEx folder within your root folder. Again, it is next to your game's exe. If I double click into this, I only have one folder right now, and that's core. So this doesn't do us any good because if I want to add a mod, I need to put it in the plugins folder, which doesn't exist yet. So let's go generate that. All we have to do is launch the game. What this is going to do is prompt BepInEx to self-generate the subfolders that it needs. And we'll see what that looks like in just a second here. But we're going to launch Peak. Right when we get to the main menu, we can immediately back out of it. Okay, so I'm going to quit out of this right away. I'm going to minimize Steam. And now within my game's root folder, within that BepInEx folder, look at this, we've got additional subfolders. The big one for us is going to be plugins. This is where you'll drop a DLL file to actually mod the game. I will link this mod in the description. This is a custom mod I made. It's just kind of a silly thing that I'll present here as an option for the purposes of testing, but theoretically you could do it in any Unity mod you find that has a DLL file. So here's the file we can download. I'm going to do a manual download. And the contents of this, again, I'll extract this right back to my downloads, is this DLL file. I'm going to drop that into the BepInEx plugins folder. This is the subfolder of BepInEx that is in my game's root folder, okay? PeakMod DLL is in plugins in this file path. So I'm going to go ahead and host. So the idea behind this mod is it's going to allow your health bar to fill up with affliction damage and you will not die. You'll still be pretty useless because it's also your stamina bar, but you won't enter that dying state where otherwise a friend could revive you. So we can see that purple affliction damage filling. It actually filled even beyond the limits of our health bar, and I'm still able to walk around. So not dead, but still pretty useless. I present it as a means of testing that your BepInEx framework is set up correctly. If you are interested in going through the full process of compiling the DLL file in Visual Studio, there is a video on that on my channel. It's this Create Your First Repo mod step-by-step. So this is specific to repo, but the broad strokes are applicable to any Unity game that you want to mod with BepInEx. This will get you an initial setup, including the Visual Studio component.